Hello, how are ya? How are you? Alright, yeah, sorry. Getting started a little late today. I. Well, whatever. I was helping my church get new internet. So I was there when the cable people showed up to do their thing. And I just rolled back home at about 20 minutes ago. So, running a little late. How's it going, everyone? How you doing? I think we're live on everything. It should be going pretty well. So, all right. Welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Lutro's community manager Cordova, and I'll be with you for the next hour, doing some Q&A, talking a little bit about the latest news, and then when things slow down a little bit, heading on in game and doing a little bit of questing on Landreval. So, how is everyone doing? Hello, also. Hello from Albuquerque. Is the sound sync off? I'm afraid probably. So I was just messing with that after last week's show. Because I noticed on the VODs, recent VODs, my audio's been out of sync. So I tried to put it back in sync, but maybe I made it worse. Actually, I think I did. Let me see. Can I see my own lag? Yeah, it's not too bad. Well, we're just going to roll with it this week, and I'll try to make it better for next week, if at all possible. So, all right, welcome, everyone. So let's get a little bit to the latest news. We do have some things we can talk about. We've been busy this week, and we're going to remain busy here for a little while. So let me put some pages up. We can talk a little bit about what's going on. First thing I want to mention, this afternoon, fingers crossed, we are currently targeting about 1 o'clock Eastern to return character transfers to Lord of the Rings Online and the other game. This will not mean the return of transfers from the closed game worlds yet, but what it will mean is return of transfers in general. And that was something that had to go down about a week ago now due to some behind-the-scenes technical work that was being done. And that should be returning here this afternoon, maybe about the time I get done with the show, at which point I'll let you know. Before we get to that, though, I did want to also mention that we have a patch set for Monday, and we already have the release notes out and the downtime announced for it. This was really a patch that we had hoped to get out this week, yesterday-ish. But then an issue came up when we were putting together our final build, so it had to get kind of kicked off the road until Monday. But it's here now, and let's go over a few of the notes here just to make sure everyone's on the same page as to what we're going to be doing on Monday. Minor fix to start things off with. Summoning cosmetic pets is not going to break stealth anymore. It's not actually a small change if you're one of those people who wanted your pet to be sneakier. It now is. One of the main reasons, there's two things that are prompting this patch. One is Scrolls of Empowerment work, which we'll get to in a second. And then the other one is this game launcher fix. There was an issue with the most recent patch where if you were on an unpatched version of Windows 7 and earlier, Locher would not patch up for you correctly. Now, you might wonder, why is there someone using Windows 7 that doesn't even have Service Pack 1, right? But they're out there, and for whatever reason, they're using whatever they're using. And they were running into some issues getting the game to update. So, as of Monday's patch, that issue will be fixed. This is, like I said, predominantly, as far as I know, basically everyone I've heard of, this is impacting people who are on unpatched Windows 7 and earlier. But if that is you, this will be fixed on Monday. We're going to be giving appropriate vendor discounts based on your housing passive skills in the Rohan neighborhoods. That was an oversight. The supplier, someone with the Gondorian supplier horn housing decoration, will now give you the appropriate discount as well. We're finally doing that thing that people have been asking for us to do for a while. Heavy armor, Winter Tusk hide helmet, will now be might instead of agility. The medium armor will now be agility instead of might. Okay, so Scrolls of Empowerment here. This is really the other thing we could mention. The Dal Amroth Quartermaster will offer Scrolls of Empowerment at tier 59 instead of 44 for their max tier for 15 Amroth pieces instead of 20. The Rangers of Ithilien will do scrolls for levels 64 instead of 59 for 12 instead of 15 silver pieces. Narnaeth will do max tier 69 instead of 59 for 3 instead of 4 of the Minas Tirith Smith's tokens. The scrolls for Host of the West is awarding 2 at max tier 74 instead of 1 at max 59. The Host of the West Silver Pieces Weekly will do 5 scrolls, max tier 74 instead of 3. And then some quests, Restoring the Three Kingdoms, Protecting the Bjornings, Protecting the Elves, and Protecting the Woodsmen, will award more Scrolls of Empowerment than they, and at a higher level than they did previously. So that's one of the first things that we're doing to respond to your feedback related to Scrolls of Empowerment. We are continuing to look at other changes that we want to do before we do that legendary item update that we've long promised, and various factors have led it to not take place yet. But that is still something we absolutely do want to do, and we're aware of obviously your feedback in recent weeks about that. So. Will there be Encore festivals again? Probably. Probably. We haven't scheduled them yet for the 2021 event schedule, and we always get mixed feedback on these Encores when we schedule them. But I know that for some people, they really do appreciate those Encores coming back, so I'll see what we can do. Someone's saying, it's a rather cold Alberta, Canada today. It is here, too. Because I just came from my church, and it's like 6 degrees and windy. It is cold out there. Any plans to fix rubber banding of war steeds? That would be something we would have to look at in the future. I have not heard of any immediate plans to do that, but that does sound like something we should take a look at. Alright, I have caught up on Facebook here first. Let me move on over to YouTube, see what we have there. Encores are awesome. Yep. When will we see the new race? Don't know about the new race. Oh yeah, someone actually living near me over on YouTube is saying it's 7 degrees. Yeah. I'm from Minnesota, and I felt it was really cold. Can we get a carry everything bag? Like no matter what item we can put it in. That sounds like a pretty significant systems process, but thanks for the suggestion. Why was the binding status not put, of the Scrolls of Empowerment, not put in the update 28.3 patch notes? Good question. That is ultimately simply a matter of looking at the release notes for too long in process and not recognizing that they were missing an important release note. We recognized that as well following player response, and we have added that to the update 28.3 notes. There was no nefarious or political or any kind of other consideration as to why it was not included, other than everyone knew it was happening because of Bullroar, and that we thought it was in the notes. We looked at the notes 1,000 times and just nobody caught it until suddenly, we released it, of course, to the public. The public's like, oh, why is this not in the notes? And we're like, so that's the actual truth of it, is we simply failed to put it in the notes. I failed to put it in the notes, and I added it as soon as it was made aware. I was made aware of it. So, why was the binding change? It was a necessary change for some anti-exploit, along with overarching systems changes we intend to do with Scrolls of Empowerment. We could no longer make them unbound. And I know that among the less popular changes we've implemented recently, that is certainly up there. But I don't think it will be possible for us to make them unbound in the future. A die carry-all. That's cool. Is there anything I can tell us about this technical and graphics update scheduled for 2022? So what you're talking about is the slide that leaked from the EG7 investor presentation, I believe. We don't have anything to comment about that. We're excited by the acquisition that happened a while back now, and we look forward to seeing what kind of things could happen in the future. But we have not, I guess, formally really gotten into any sort of detail about what might be coming there. And, you know, keep in mind the source is an investor presentation. That doesn't mean it won't happen or anything, but that does mean that it was perhaps one of the options that the investors could look at as they look to future investments under what would then be their future acquisition of a company. I mean, I think it's going to happen. I just don't know. And we're nowhere near being able to talk about it, so. Sorry. It's the most I can say, and I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, it's fine. Any timeline on the producer's letter? No, other than I can say that it remains a top priority and one of the things we have been talking about and / working on this week. But, as always, the writing of it is the tiniest part of the process. And that's that. And also I am being attacked by a Tarog warrior. At least I have my sound up, so I'm not being like, alright, let's go in game, only to find myself dead. I will move to the game cam here in a second, but I did actually want to briefly lower the audio just a smidge. And make sure I've called up the remainder of the things that we need to talk about here. I think there are some PVMP changes. You can take a look at that. We are doing some creep core stat compression. This is in response to the balance work that was recently updated. So basically any core stat that was 1 to 5 is now 2 to 4. We're squishing it. Stat squish. Creep side corruptions will grant less BPE and somewhat less physical MIT. Creeps will need to use more corruptions to achieve particularly tanky values. A war leader on your feet's been reverted to a non-warband effect, and the war leader's Slick Flesh and Quitters Never Win is being changed to a warband effect. Then we also have some things where we're making some quests available twice per week instead of once. Resets Thursday, Sunday, 3 a.m. Eastern. That would be protecting the Bjornings, protecting the elves, protecting the woodmen. And we also fixed an issue in Elder Slade supply packs where we were directing you to the wrong NPC. Oops. And that's been fixed as well. So, you think this is the last creep nerf, Herderb over on Twitch? We always get lobbied from both sides about the current state of balance. I believe the general feedback has been that we needed to do some things to make it for a better experience under our efforts to balance PVMP. And so that's the reason for a couple of those changes. I don't think that means that all of a sudden Freepside's going to start raffle stomping. I just don't think so. But hopefully this will put us in a place where you're a little bit happier with the changes. Nothing to announce about whether there will be plans for Skulls of Empowerment to be implemented on the Minas Morgul dailies, but that's the kind of stuff that we'll be taking a look at in the future, in addition to some of the other work as we work to respond to your feedback and improve the overall LI experience here. All right, I am going to cut out the release notes, and I am going to stop this. Oh, what is with that weird fisheye cam? Okay, that explains something. There we are. All right, there we are. So I really just left off where we left off. I will say that on my kinship night, we were continuing to work on some of the Bjorning and Vale of Anduin kind of related stuff, but we also went back and started some Rohan mounted combat work to get our recently Valard characters kind of up and running related to mounted combat. So I was messing around on a war steed yesterday. Interestingly, someone had mentioned that they were experiencing a lot of stutter lag on the war steed. I didn't notice that myself last night, and that was on a war steed for a couple hours. But I will pay more particular attention, well, this weekend, I guess, when I'm back at it. So. Okay, definitely want to get rid of the Warg Riders. What am I also doing? Saving the Beasts to the south, Spears to the west. Yeah, Warg Riders, and I just need to hit them a little too far north. Yep, so there we go. Heads to the south is the answer here. So I was actually kind of overall, I thought the Warseed experience was not terrible. And I know that's not a popular opinion. I thought it was kind of cool, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I hear that that's not the most popular opinion in the world either. But I didn't notice a lot of stutter step lag. Maybe, and this is on this computer, so I guess, hey, you know what? Maybe we can take care of that here in just a smidge next time I get to get on a steed. We'll take care of that today and see what we see, right? Well, I could actually do it now while I'm looking for goblins. I don't have my War Steed Hotbard. So, I mean, are you seeing stutter step lag? Because I'm Captain Bit, I'm kind of not. But we'll give it another shot here in a second. Maybe I just wasn't noticing it. Also, of course, I already saw someone upset in chat. Please don't take that previous statement to indicate that I don't believe it's going on, nor that you're not experiencing lag, nor that we don't have a lag issue we need to deal with. I was just reporting. Let's take a look at my own experience here, huh? Okay. There's wargs, not warg riders. Well, well, let me do this for a little bit more safety, huh? Simic, I will get to your questions. I'm not trying to ignore anyone's questions here. Alright. I was trying to stay alive, that's fine. Why are my skills over there? Over there, I assume, meaning over on the lower right corner of the screen. The answer is because that's how I want it. I like having the space around my character free from buttons, hotbars, flashing things, countdown timers, and what have you. I prefer to have sort of a square in the center of my screen that is uncluttered. And then anything that needs to be done can be over on this side. Also, I like to do a combination of mouse click and number keys for hotbars. And so by having my hotbars on the lower right, it allows me to control and alt for the first two if I need to. But then I can also just kind of use it with the mouse pointer here, which is how I like to play. I know it's also a little weird. I've had plenty of people say, why in the world do you do it that way? But it's all I can say is whatever. It's what I do. And it's what, oh, maybe I should not have walked into the boss, huh? This is gonna end well. I'm doing a thing. Alright, here we go. I could have gone a lot worse. Alright. Let me try to get back to that person's question if I can. Can you not quest and answer more questions? This is really frustrating. You're ignoring chat so much. Okay. I will do that. Otherwise, I'm caught up on Elda's question on Scrolls of Empowerment. I'm not seeing any other questions. What's going on with mission NPCs? At times it takes 3 to 6 minutes before being able to hand in. I have not had that experience. We have been reading that, and we are taking a look at what might be going on there. I don't have a fix to mention. Why does the launcher want to install Visual C 64 on your 32-bit machine? I don't know. I think that may be actually related to the fix that we're working on Monday, right? And otherwise, I've as far as I can tell, I've answered every question in Twitch chat. So I don't know quite Simic, what pressing question is out there I haven't answered. I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing it. Maybe you just re-ask it. All right. Yes, Ponton. We continue to work on chat server issues for both games. That we have an engineer who's tasked with working on it, who is continuing to do that work. I don't have a fix for you to announce today or anything, but that is something that we are actively investigating, yes. All right, let me head over to YouTube. The issue with Windows 7 mentioned, does that carry over to in-game? Since last patch, latency is way up. You're getting packet loss. Well, no. The issue with Windows 7 is an issue that is preventing the game launcher from patching after update 0.3 was released last week. So people who are on unpatched versions of Windows 7, that means they never even got Service Pack 1. It's like they just put in the disk from an old PC and then never connected to the internet to update it or anything, right? Those people and people on earlier operating systems, you know, which at this point are incredibly insecure operating systems. They really should just not be being used, but they exist still. Those people were unable to patch, but they will be able to patch again as of Monday. But that issue should have no impact on latency that you were experiencing in-game. Now, is the fact that you're on a Windows 7 machine and thus probably running on a presumably somewhat weaker machine, does that impact game performance? Sure. But, you know, that is beyond my capability to really diagnose, as it were. Oh, I need to burn goat corpses, huh? Okay. AJ Bon, a look at lag as it relates to Evernight is also on that same agenda. We have people working on it, and we do hope to make progress on that as soon as we can. But I don't have anything to announce today. I know there's some Windows 7 fans out there who really don't like Windows 10. All I can say is I'm sorry, but it's 2021. You need a secure operating system, and Windows 7 is not it. At this point, it's a very, very tiny percent of our population. But we absolutely want you to be able to keep playing. So we are going to be doing that work on Monday. I'm just looking at pack leaders and pack hunters, huh? Okay. Oh, here we go. There's another couple. All right, so Yuna says, how is progress on general future content going? As much on task as we hope, or is everything going on impacted a bit by, you know, COVID and whatever? No, we're on track. Actually, we're doing pretty good there. So no issues. And we are full steam ahead on our 2021 plans, in addition to working on getting the word out to you about them in a new producer's letter. So, yeah, we're doing quite well right now in terms of keeping that game making treadmill going. Let's get that war seed out again. Alright, so and I'm up to full speed. You slow down. So what I've been meaning to do, I guess, to the comment about playing the game when I should be answering questions, I tend to agree with that, and I do tend to focus the show. I start with the news, anything that's pressing, hot button, going on, whatever we need to talk about. I front load that stuff. And usually that takes, what, about 15, 20 minutes or so? And then after that point, we've kind of gone through all the news, and it tends to be recycling of questions, maybe some kind of wish list things, or whatever it ends up happening to be that day. But my plan is to focus on the questions and answers. You're not tuning in to watch me play the game, and I recognize that. So, I get it. But I still want to do some gameplay on the show, nonetheless. No one wants to sit and watch me talk for... I don't want to sit and talk for an hour just staring at a camera. And you don't want to either. I am not that pretty. That was pretty rad. I miss some corpses up here. That's what I'm doing. I've got some corpses to burn. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have waited a little bit, huh? There we go. Alright, this one will wait till I'm back. Yeah, so the mission turn in, that kind of lag issue would be a different sort of... It would be a different issue. What that would typically be is somewhere it's getting gummed up, not like any specific system that is communicating between... It's sort of a subsystem issue rather than, say, a main server issue or a hardware issue or something like that. So I think what you're encountering is something that's going to require some special work to correct in addition to any other work that needs to be done. Can't promise everyone's gonna like my answers. That's the one thing I can't promise. but I can and promise I'm doing my best. Yeah. I don't, so Super M, I kind of saw a similar comment over on YouTube. I don't know if that was you or someone else, but I tend not to answer the questions about what's my favorite. It's just not really that important, nor is it that interesting, but also it tends to be read into too much. Um, there are lots of parts of Lotro I like a lot. I tend to enjoy some of the rugged mountainous regions of Middle Earth. It's always been part of the general milieu of Middle Earth that I have enjoyed the most. I really like the magical fantasy dripped sort of stylings of the Elven lands, you know. So Rivendell. There's a lot I like. But I don't know that I even have a favorite, and if I did, I don't know that I'd want to really start listing off on the stream. But I guess maybe I just did. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think Rivendell is neat. So I guess if that's the metric, you know, what do I think is the coolest, personally? Let's say Rivendell. But you could start showing me pictures and I'd change that answer 15 times. I have not heard of a specific issue about a mob camp issue outside or in a place like Circle of Despair. I will have to follow up on that. I don't know. Let's see, I got one more corpse. Oh, nope. Where are you? Trying to find that last dead goat and avoid... There we are. Okay. Yeah, Dol Amra. I mean, there's a lot, right? Oh, man, I can't. No, I can't. I don't know. Yay. Alright, so now I'm basically heading over to Limlock. So that I can get to from here. Have to be on the other side. So let's head to the north. And then go around. On my war steed. I don't know. Can I be honest? I'm a little concerned about my war steed comments on the stream. People are going to read so much into that I really don't intend. Whatever. I think war steeds are cool. I don't care if you don't like it. Can I even get there from here? I think I might be going the wrong way. Yeah, I am going the wrong way. Alright, let me try to get around if I can. This is not a place for a worsted. Too many branches. Let me get out of the way here. Sorry, I know the graphics suck right now. I'm getting out of the way. It's kind of a lot of damage there. What's the... Oh, okay. Maybe I better do something about that, huh? Alright. Oh, unfortunately this isn't going to get me up where I need, huh? There we are. Nope, that's not going to work either, is it? Alright, well, where do I cross? I need to cross to the other side here. Is this going to let me? No. Yes! Yes! Sweet, okay, cool. There we are. Let me get back on the worsted then. Anyway, so I thought maybe I was prompted. It just occurred to me basically after the kinship night last night. I was like, you know what? Why maybe I should just be like running around on my worsted more on the stream. So maybe I will make that pledge to you, since folks tend to want me to experience their pain, as it were. Let me do that in this scenario. Did I also miss this? Yes. Sorry, folks. Let me just see if I can run for a while. Unlock. There we go. And take a look at chat. A little stroll down the river, as it were. I don't know that there's a lot of value in me kind of regurgitating talk about the nature of determining what gets fixed when. Perhaps that would be a better question to get into a discussion with Severlin at the next opportunity, which should be hopefully in the fairly near future here. I guess I would say that the push and pull of MMO development tends to always be that the amount of things you, quote, need to do tends to always be higher than the amount of actual work hours available to do a thing. And balancing that to the best of your ability is really the trick to getting it right. And you're going to get it right hopefully as often as you can. But I would say rarely are you going to get it right all the time. You do the best you can to try to balance the push and pull and the needs of all the different groups that would like you to do that work within the constraints that you have as a business and creative team and all the rest. That's good enough, right? I have not heard of plans to bring the Skiliath armor up to its earlier eye level. Sorry, Rem Weir. I skip back and forth between Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. All right. Oh, Caroline, over on Facebook. Yes, featured instance rotations. There you go. Yes. I agree that that's something that we need to do. It's been too long, as it were, right? As you've so rightly pointed out. Hopefully, we can get to that work in the near future. Okay. No, Troy. I have heard of no plans. I apologize. I've heard of no plans to further develop a Mac launcher. I don't know what to say about that other than we have no plans. We'll see. We'll see. Ideally, day without honey. Find Trigger. There's Trigger. All right, well, you know, we're actually getting pretty close to the end of the show here, so why don't I probably just wrap it up at this point. I don't know if there's any last minute pressing questions. I think I kind of addressed most of that at the front, so. So I see, Angry Watering Can, your bug about epic battles where Bjornings are not receiving their epic battle jewelry scaled to their level. I will copy that one over as well into kind of a notepad. I do think in the future we will be adding different things to the Gobbleika Quartermaster. Whether that ends up remaining basically cosmetics or perhaps other stuff as well remains to be seen. I think we would be open to your feedback perhaps on that to some extent. Yeah, sure, I can. I remember, I don't remember what the answer was, Simic, but I remember asking about the medium might armor from scaled instances when they should get heavy. I don't remember what the answer was on that. But we've talked about that one in the past. Do you really want endgame loot from the Gobbleika Quartermaster? All right. You know what? Let me do this to wrap up this stream. I am going to let's run around on the War Steed for a few minutes with just all the UI off and just enjoy the sight, as it were, of the area. And take a look at that kind of stutter step lag, I guess. That, like I said, I'm zoomed out as much as I can be. It's pretty good. And I'm not... I didn't fall off the cliff yet! This is good. Oh, I will now, though. Okay. Yeah! Nope, we're going! We're going! Psh! Anyway, I'm still not seeing stutter step lag here. I don't know. I don't know what to say. A little bit of hitching there. But nothing that is striking me as particularly visible. See about getting myself up to speed again on a hopefully slightly less cliffy area. That is just combat lag. Detection stuff. Getting dismounted. So we have the Tolkien Professor coming up here in just a minute or two. And then later on, Druid's Fire will be there. You can find the full schedule over on twitch.tv/LoTroStream. We do have a pretty good lineup right now. Lots of streams happening. And so it's a great time to check it out if you're interested. And join the community. Because I guess I'm trying to show graphics and such a little bit, I'd mentioned that I'm just using a it's a good graphics card, but it's just a 1060. I do have like 32 gigs of RAM and a nice AMD quad core. But what did I do wrong there? Let's try that again. There we are. Well, nowadays I suppose 1060s are almost considered old, aren't they? But clearly it works okay. At least it's working for me. Yeah! Let's go the other way. There we are. Alright. We are going to call that here then. Let's just go straight and see what happens. Thanks for watching. Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I will see you next week. Have fun.